Imagine a really bad storm came into your life. It didn't know who you were, but it definitely felt how strong you were. The people who hurt you weren't just going against you. It was like they were challenging the whole world when they came after you. What they didn't get is that when the world chooses someone special, it helps them fight back. You weren't just trying to stay alive. You were becoming stronger, like metal being shaped in fire, but quietly. While they were laughing at you, making fun, and planning bad things, every mean thing they did actually bounced off what you were meant to become. It couldn't touch your amazing future. They never had a real chance. They acted nice, but had bad intentions. They tried to make your inner light go out, a light they didn't even create. But here's the thing they didn't expect. That light wasn't even yours to begin with. It was the power of the universe moving through you, and now it's going to surprise everyone who thought you were weak. So think about liking and subscribing. It's not just for you, but for everyone else out there who feels chosen, but is going through tough times alone. Your click tells YouTube that this message needs to reach more people who are quietly carrying big burdens. Help show the system that these strong people are waking up and they're not going to be quiet anymore. What you've been through in silence is about to be shown, and it's going to shock everyone who thought they knew you. This isn't just you getting back on your feet. It's the world finding its balance again. The universe doesn't pick favorites for no reason, and when it picks you, it protects you. But it also shows everyone who tried to hurt you. They thought they had you trapped, broken, predictable, but you were never part of their small story. You were on a path written by something they can't understand. You've survived sneaky attacks disguised as love, betrayal from family, and quiet hurts that no one else even saw. And still, you didn't give up. The truth you now hold isn't just your story. It's a weapon. It's a truth so deep, it makes liars nervous, turns fake friends into strangers, and forces your enemies to face what they did. Being chosen isn't about having an easy life. It's about going through tough times without losing your inner goodness. It's about people underestimating you for so long that when you rise, it's like a clap of thunder. It's about becoming the very thing they thought would destroy you. And know this, you were never truly alone. That feeling of being isolated was part of the process of making you stronger. The universe puts its strongest people in quiet, lonely places so their power can grow without being bothered. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Now that you're stepping out of the shadows, they won't recognize you because you're not who you used to be. You're who you had to become. The survivor, the truth teller, the shock they never saw coming. So let them be surprised. Let them try to change the stories they made up about your silence. Because the real story, the one you lived and survived, is much more powerful than their lies ever were. And now it's yours to tell. This isn't just surviving, it's revealing the truth, and you're the one doing it. If you feel a strong energy after hearing this, that's a good sign. The universe doesn't speak for no reason. If you've ever had to be quiet while people spread lies about you, if you've had to heal without anyone noticing, if you feel something powerful waking up inside you right now, pay attention. This message is like a mirror. If you're truly one of the chosen, you'll feel these words deeply. Number 1, time to take off the mask. The truth is going to be hard for those who tried to hide it. They didn't break you. They just proved how strong you really are. This is what they didn't expect. That you'd live long enough to talk about it. That you'd crawl out of every bad situation they put you in and bring the truth with you. And now that truth is aimed right at what they tried so hard to hide. They spent years lying, making up fake stories about you, acting like you were unimportant in their lives. But the story just flipped. And now, you're the main focus. Understand this. When the universe chooses someone, it puts a shield around them that no enemy can see, but every enemy feels. That uncomfortable feeling they have around you, that sudden dislike for no reason, that urge to say bad things about you, that's not random. That's the universe pushing back. They're reacting to your presence like shadows react to the sun. And guess what? The brighter you shine, the more they'll panic. And here you are, standing in a place they thought you'd never reach. You didn't just survive. You went through things meant to destroy you. Silent battles, attacks with no proof, fake smiles hiding bad intentions, people praising you in public, but hating you in private. You were surviving out in the open while they were just putting on a show. Let's be clear. They weren't just fighting you. They were fighting the power that chose you. They were punching the universe and thinking it wouldn't fight back. And now, the universe is showing the proof through you. So speak loudly, clearly, and without apologizing. Your truth isn't just personal. It's like cosmic bullets. Every word you say now undoes the bad things they said and did. This is bigger than just telling your story. It's about things becoming balanced again. And whether they're ready or not, the truth is coming out. Number 2. They bet against your inner fire, and now they're watching you walk through flames. They never thought you'd rise up because they were too busy counting your scars to notice how strong you were becoming. They were too focused on your struggles to see that you were actually building yourself up. They were so sure the bad things they sent your way would drown you, that they didn't even bother to see if you were still afloat, let alone walking on water. That same spotlight that used to hurt you, that used to feel too bright and overwhelming, is different now. That light no longer shows your weaknesses. It makes your power stronger. Because you're not walking into that light needing approval. You're walking in as someone who has proof. Proof that you were targeted. Proof that you suffered. Proof that you still rose up. And proof that no one, not a person, not a lie, not even a storm, can stop what the universe has already decided. And yet, some of you still feel guilty for rising up. Still wonder if maybe you're being too much, if you should go back to being quiet and less noticeable. Let me be clear. You don't owe your silence to make them comfortable. You don't have to dim your light for anyone who tried to make you feel small. They didn't expect you to rise because they thought pain was enough to destroy someone like you. But what they didn't know is that pain was your wake-up call. It brought out parts of you that you didn't even know existed. It woke up the speaker, the healer, the leader, the one who starts change. And now you're awake. So let them talk. Let them be choked by the story they tried to write for you. Let them watch from the front row as you give a performance they could never have imagined. This is your time to shine, not because you asked for it, but because you earned it. So rise up loudly, brightly, completely, and let the silence you were buried in become the thunder that follows you everywhere. Because the truly strong never stay down. Number 3. The doors didn't close on you. They closed for you. They said you were unlucky, that you must have done something wrong, that all those closed doors, unanswered calls, lost jobs, broken relationships, and failed plans were just your bad choices, bad luck, or bad timing. But no, what they called rejection was actually the universe making adjustments for you. The universe was stepping in and moving you away from places too small for your purpose, people too shallow for your depth, and paths too temporary for what you're meant to achieve. You weren't being pushed out. You were being pushed forward. Because when you're chosen, you're not allowed to settle. And so the universe will disrupt anything that tries to limit your growth, even if it means breaking your heart to make your future bigger. And let's be real, it didn't feel like preparation, did it? It felt like punishment, like being forgotten, like the universe went silent on you when you needed answers the most. But that silence was your classroom, that loneliness your initiation. No one talks about what it feels like to be chosen. They just talk about the amazing results at the end. But we know the truth. Being chosen hurts before it heals. It strips you down. It disconnects you from everything and everyone that isn't in line with your next level. And sometimes that looks like rejection, like betrayal, like being ignored by people you would have done anything for, like watching people benefit from your ideas while you struggle in private. But now look, every no was a gate locking behind you, so you couldn't go back to what you had outgrown. Every delay was a change of direction, setting you up for something too big to understand at the time. And every person who left your life made space for those who see you now, not just as someone convenient, but as someone truly special. And let's also talk about this. Some of you have doubted yourselves, questioned the path, wondered if you're making it all up, wondered if maybe you missed your chance. Let me be clear. If you were finished, you wouldn't still be waking up with that fire in your belly, that hunger to become more, that push you feel every time you try to shrink and be quiet. That's the universe refusing to let you forget who you are. Stop apologizing for your calling.
Stop making it smaller just because others didn't get the same vision. You were not rejected, you were repositioned. And those people who walked away from you when you had nothing, let them watch now. Let them sit in silence while the doors that rejected you open on their own, just for you to walk through. Because when the universe opens a door, no one can close it. And when the universe closes a door, no apology, no second chance, no forced connection can reopen it. That's protection, that's alignment, that's power. So if you're still sad about a rejection, stop and look again. Was it really a loss? Or was it a hidden blessing with sharp edges? Because most of the things that saved you didn't look like miracles at the time. They looked like heartbreak, like failure, like confusion. But the truth is, every single one of those moments was progress. The universe doesn't shout without a reason. It doesn't rearrange your life just to leave you stuck. If things fell apart, it's because something stronger was being built behind the scenes. And now it's time to trust that the rejection wasn't about you being unwanted. It was about you being too important to waste on anything less than extraordinary. So move forward like it was all part of the plan, because it was. Number 4, the truth you carry could destroy empires. That's why they were afraid of you. Your story isn't just remembering pain, it's a weapon, a powerful truth that, if spoken, would completely expose people who built their whole lives on lies. That's why they tried to silence you. That's why the lies came quickly, the rumors got louder, and you felt more and more alone. It was never random, it was a defense. Because your truth is dangerous, not to you, but to them. To the systems, the illusions, the reputations built on shaky ground and pride. They didn't call you unstable because you were weak. They called you that because they were scared. Scared of what would happen if you ever found the strength to say, "Here's what really happened." Scared of who would believe you. Scared of how many others would see their own story in yours and finally wake up. You see, when you hold a truth powerful enough to bring down fake leaders, people will do anything to make you look like a liar. Not because you are one, but because your clarity terrifies them. That's why they tried to keep you confused. That's why they needed you to doubt your own voice. But that voice was never meant to stay silent. That burning you feel when you lie awake at night is the truth trying to be born. That pressure in your chest is the weight of unspoken words, truths locked behind fear, experiences begging for air. And when you feel your fingers twitch, your thoughts race, your soul cries out in the quiet, it's not just restlessness, it's a signal. It's the universe letting you know you've been quiet long enough. They'll say you changed, and they're right. You stopped letting lies live in your spirit. You stopped being the safe version of yourself just to make liars feel comfortable. You stopped running from your truth, and now it runs through you like fire. Number 5, they wrote you in as the villain, but you were the plot twist they couldn't control. They needed a villain, someone to blame, someone to carry the weight of everything they didn't want to face in themselves. And you You were too easy, too silent, too isolated, too powerful in ways they couldn't understand. So they labeled you what they feared most, a threat. But let's tell the truth, you weren't the villain. You were the mirror. And when people don't like what they see, they try to break the reflection. They couldn't handle how your presence exposed their masks, so they did what cowards always do. They turned the spotlight on you and rewrote the script to make themselves the victims. They twisted scenes, edited out their own actions, and projected every flaw in their soul onto your face. And now they're scared, not of what you'll do, but of what you'll reveal. So reveal it, not with rage, but with precision. Not to hurt, but to heal yourself. Not for attention, but for alignment. Because the most dangerous thing you can do to someone who spent years trying to destroy you is survive with proof. Let your truth speak now, not like a scream, but like a slow, undeniable unraveling. Let them watch their fiction crumble beneath the weight of your reality. You were never the villain. You were the awakening. The plot twist they couldn't control. The chapter they tried to rip out only to realize you were the whole damn story. Number 6, you're not coming back for payback. You're coming back for what's yours. Let them talk about revenge. Let them throw around words like bitter, petty, unhealed. Let them pretend this is about proving something. They'll say that because they still don't understand what's really happening. But we do. This isn't revenge, it's restoration. This is alignment snapping back into place like a bone that was dislocated for too long. This is balance being returned, not by force, not by drama, but by truth. See, what they didn't realize is that you were never trying to get even, you were trying to get free. And now that you are, now that the weight has lifted and your voice is rising, they're scrambling, not because you've become dangerous, but because your clarity is exposing the lies they thought would never be questioned. They thought the character they created for you would stick forever, that people would always see you through their fog, that the version of you built on half-truths and gossip would become your legacy. But now that you're speaking, truly speaking, everything is shifting. They didn't think that truth could hit this hard without you lifting a finger. They forgot one universal law: you cannot destroy what is protected by purpose. They tried to bury you under labels, under silence, under shame, but you were never the seed they thought you were. You were the root. And roots don't die quietly. They come back stronger, wiser, unshakable. And no, this isn't about being seen by the people who ignored you. It's about seeing yourself clearly for the first time. This is about reclaiming your name, not for validation, but for liberation. You don't need applause. You don't need everyone to admit they were wrong. Because truth has a way of echoing beyond denial. The people who need to hear you will. The ones who are blind will blink. The ones who are silent will shift uncomfortably in their seats. And you'll be calm, not cold, not spiteful, just centered. Because when you walk in alignment, you stop chasing explanations. You become the explanation. Number 7, you didn't run away. You were pulled out by the timing that doesn't miss. Some of you disappeared without a word, no goodbye, no explanation. One day you were there, and the next gone. And they called it cowardice. They said you ghosted, that you couldn't handle the pressure, that you were unstable, impulsive, unreliable. But here's the truth: you didn't run, you were extracted. That wasn't panic, that was precision. That was the universe stepping in and saying, now go. That was cosmic timing opening the emergency exit when no one else even knew the building was burning. You weren't escaping. You were being delivered. You were pulled out of the fire before it could finish what it started. They'll never understand what it took to disappear like that, to sever ties, delete contacts, change your number, move in silence. That kind of silence isn't weakness, it's spiritual warfare. It's divine timing in motion. It's the moment you stopped negotiating with danger and said, not another day. You left, not because you were afraid of what was behind you, but because something inside you finally trusted what was ahead. You changed your name, your number, your environment. Some of you even changed your identity, not to hide, but to heal, because you realized you couldn't fix your soul in the same space that broke it. And you didn't need a round of applause or a send-off speech. You needed distance, you needed oxygen. And now the very path you took to save yourself is about to become a beacon. The map you made in the dark will help someone else find their way out. Because here's the thing about divine timing, it doesn't operate on convenience. It doesn't show up when your bank account is ready, or your friends approve, or your reputation can handle it. It shows up when you're about to break. It steps in when you've cried your last silent tear and whispered, "I can't do this anymore." It shows up when your spirit starts to scream louder than your trauma. That moment you disappeared, that was the moment your story shifted from survival mode to destiny mode. So, if you've ever felt the need to disappear, know that sometimes it's not about running from something, but running towards yourself. It's about trusting that inner compass, even when it leads you down a seemingly lonely path. Because often, the greatest transformations happen in the quiet spaces, and the most important journeys are the ones you take to find your way back to your own soul. That sudden pull you felt, that was the universe knowing it was time to bring you home. And now, you're not just back, you're here, stronger and clearer than ever before. Your disappearance wasn't an ending, it was the necessary pause before your most powerful act.